Hello chess lovers, I would like to show you a very sharp game played by Levon Aronian against Richard Rapport. The game was played at Tata Steel tournament in 2017. Aronian started with d4, knight f6 by Rapport, c4, e6, knight f3, b6, g3, bishop b7, bishop g2, bishop e7. This is the Queen's Indian defense, the classical variation. White castles, black castles, knight c3, knight e4, bishop d2 and bishop f6. In this position, the main moves are rook c1 or queen c2. But in here, Aronian comes up with a very interesting idea, bishop e1, a rare move. In my database, there are only 5 games played with this bishop e1. Aronian decided to keep alive his bishop by playing bishop e1, though of course on e1 this bishop looks very passive, but it turns out that after a few more moves this passive bishop is becoming a very active attacking piece. Let's have a look how the game went on. Rook e8, queen c2, d5, knight takes e4, d takes e4, knight d2, bishop takes d4, rook d1, queen c8, and only now simply white takes on e4, bishop c5, and knight g5, attacking the pawn on h7, f5, closing the diagonal, bishop takes b7, queen takes b7, and bishop c3. Suddenly this passive bishop jumps to c3 square, eyeing on g7 pawn. Well, right now white is threatening knight takes e6. For example, just a random move by black. If a6, white can simply take on e6. If rook takes e6, then rook d8 check. If king f7, then queen f5, and white is totally destroying black's position. But let's go back. After bishop c3, already white has an advantage. I would rather say white is much better. Especially this queen on b7 looks like a bishop, a very passive piece. We see bishop f8 by black. Now comes e4, trying to open up this b1 h7 diagonal, h6, attacking the knight on g5. And in here Aronian played a very strong move. Can you find that move? As if pays no attention that the knight on g5 is hanging and simply takes on f5, sacrificing the knight. Black accepted the sacrifice and now comes f6, trying to open up both these diagonals. c5, black is opening up a space for his queen in order to let the queen join the defense, and f4 by Aronian. Now white is going to open up the f file. This is very important when you are attacking, to open up the diagonals, the files, in order to let your pieces breathe and attack. g4, trying to keep the position closed, and f5. In this position black played g takes f6. But here is an interesting line. If you play a move like e5, trying to keep up the position closed, white can take on g7, queen takes g7, and now f6, queen f7, and queen e4, both attacking the rook and the pawn, knight a6. In this position, white can simply win by taking on g4, and if king h8, then rook d7. This is winning for white. But instead of taking on g4, white has a very strong move. Can you find that move? Actually, there is also this rook d7 sacrifice, a very beautiful move. If you take on d7, then after queen g6 check, king h8, this f7 move just wins the game. White is threatening queen g8 checkmate, and if bishop g7, then simply queen h5 check. Let's go back. We see after f5, g takes f6, f takes e6, queen h7, queen g2 attacking the rook on a8, knight a6, and now comes the rook, queen h5, and rook takes f6. Black's position is just hopeless. Rook d8, and now comes another amazing move by Aronian. Can you find that move? He just took on f8. Check. King takes f8. Well, if you take on f8 with a rook, then after rook g7 check king h8, rook g5 check king h7. Well, you can also take on h5, but there is a very strong move, queen b7 check, and white is easily winning. Let's go back. We see king takes f8 in this position, queen f1 check, and black resigned. Well, if king g8, then rook g7 check, king h8. This looks like a windmill. Rook g5 check, king h7, rook takes h5 check, king g6, and queen f7 checkmate. An amazing game by Levon Aronian. Your comments and questions please, and thanks for watching. Good luck.